Right, now we've done the sort, the next thing it's asked us to do is to format the spreadsheet so that all data is visible and all currency values show the currency symbol with no decimal places. There's 5 points for that. Let's say 2 for the sort and 3 for the formatting. It's quite interesting because they've actually done a lot of the formatting for us, as in where we get the points for. You normally get a point for making the headings different from the data, let's say making them bold as they've done here, and you also get a point for the putting the borders around. Now that was done before we even opened the data, it was done for us. So I was a little bit suspicious, so I went back to the marking sheet to see what they had to say. Now these marking sheets are available to download from Edexcel, and they're well worth downloading and looking at because it gives you a good idea of the sort of things they give points for and what they don't. And that's half the battle, is passing these exams, is making sure that you're putting the information that they want to see. I've had some students put a lot of time doing all sorts of things, particularly on task 3, and it was all great, it was all good stuff, but it wasn't what they were looking for in the exam, so they didn't get as many points as they needed to pass. So I would recommend downloading these from the website or getting them off your tutor and spending some time looking through them, particularly on the chart part and or task 3 definitely. We'll more detail about task 3 when we get to it. This particular one, they have asked no truncation in data view, and then it says columns FGH only formatted to pounds with 0 decimal places. So it hasn't actually mentioned any other formatting, so that's quite strange. That's not normally the way. Normally you get your data sheet like so. I'm just going to clear all the formatting off here. It's like that, and you have to do all the formatting yourself. Now whether you use style sheets or tables, let's just choose that table, and turn that off, put banded columns on, whether it's something like that you have to do yourself, do that manually or as a table, that's the minimum what you need to do. Make that bold. But they haven't asked us to do that at all, and we've already had the formatting done. Quite strange. So all they're really worrying about is making sure everything's readable, that nothing's truncated, i.e. something like that. And the best way of doing that, as we've mentioned before, is select everything and then double click on one of the borders, or from your home menu go to Format and go to Auto Fit Column Width. And then the next thing they want to do is all of the pounds values are set to currency. So I'm going to click that one there and I'm going to choose currency from the menu. Be careful with this accountancy, there's another value where it puts the pound signs there. You can lose points for doing it that way, so stick to the standard currency. There's no decimal points, so that's this button here. Click it once to lose 1 decimal point, click it again to lose both. Now personally I wouldn't be happy with this big gap here, and I would word wrap these forms, but again it doesn't mention it there, so we won't need to worry. But I notice here that these have all been centered. These were filled out for us before we opened it. So really any data that we've added should be in the same format as the rest. So I would select all of that and then centre it. And I think ideally the headings, the headings I think were there for us anyway, but I'll centre them anyway. At least that breaks up some of the white space. They want us to do a printout of the rental worksheet showing the data. We go back to our worksheets, check everything is okay, go File, Print. A couple of things here, it's data we're showing, so we can turn off this ABC123. Let's go to the page setup and then across to the Sheet tab and turn off grid lines because we've already got borders. and row and column headings. Click OK on that. See, that makes it a bit more presentable, and you could enlarge it slightly to fill the screen and centre it. Some debate, you want to speak to your tutor about whether this needs to be done or not. This, as it is there, I think that would be okay because it's not excessively small. There's not too much excessive of white space around. If it was just sort of like a quarter, then you would definitely need to enlarge it. I think that's not too bad, but I'll just go through the process to show you how to do it. There's various ways, but zoom up, let's say 130%, and that's okay. That's just still in one page of one of one, so that's okay. And then I would centre that with either two. You can go into margins and centre on page. That will do. But like I say before, I think it'd be okay if you just hit print without resizing or centering. So once you're happy with that, print it and then check the printout again for any errors. Don't worry about the fact here on your screen, you may see it, you may not. There's some thick lines where they shouldn't be. Print preview tends to do that, distort it somewhat. If you print that out, that will be fine as you expect it to be. So don't worry too much about that, but it is important to check your paper printouts. Okay, I hope that was some use to you. If there is anything you don't understand, or if you have any questions, just put them down in the comments and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. Also, subscribe to the channel to get notifications of all of the new videos as they come up for Functional IT. The next video is the last part of task 2, which is creating a chart, creating and printing a chart. I'm also going to do another video on the different ways of formatting. In this video I used formatting as table and then just configured that very quickly just as a demo, but there is the styles and just standard formatting by hand. Because this particular exam didn't really require much formatting, I'm going to do another video just on the 3 different ways of formatting. So if you subscribe, you won't miss when that one comes out.